take it all. Show and prove, it'll prove to everyone that we won't lose. I tell them to get back, 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 back. Got me back up in my back, 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 back. I got all these haters back, 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 back. So they follow anywhere that I go. I tell them you guys go back, 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 back. Got me back up in my back, 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 back. I got all these haters back, 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 back. So they follow anywhere that I go. I do it Colosso. I tell them all to get back. Now they got me in my bag. Now it's a wrap. If you ain't talking about raps, you cannot get me to rap. Baby, I'm grinding and doing my thing. You a hater if you tryna tell me relax. I got a problem with people that act like a boss, but low-key they lay on their back. I tell them get out the way, get out the way. Give me some space, give me some space. Low-key got them nervous. I know they don't want no problems, and if they do, we're well equipped to solve them. We not going home.
1 minute.
We gon' take it all. Show and prove, it'll prove to everyone that we won't lose. I tell them to get back, 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 back. Got me back up in my back, 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 back. I got all these haters back, 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 back. So they follow anywhere that I go. I tell them you guys go back, 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 back. Got me back up in my back, 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 back. I got all these haters back, 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 back. So they follow anywhere that I go. I do it Colosso.
30 seconds.
On no handout, streams is on the million multi. I'm the man now, claim the title as the best. Ain't no debating. If you're looking for success, I'm the navigation. Telling all the haters.
10 seconds. Athletes, stand by. Hello and good morning. Welcome to the NOBULL CrossFit Games. Getting the party started here in the Coliseum with our adaptive groups. Starting with test number 5, the gymnastics chipper. Once again, we have our adaptive athletes. 4 different divisions competing right now on the competition floor. Men and women in the upper extremity and lower extremity. Get it started. Got some burpee broad jumps as well as handstand walks, depending on the division standards. This is a chipper style workout. Athletes will continue to make their way down the competition floor before making all the way back to their original starting positions. Let's real quick look at the different roster of athletes we have out here on the floor. In lane number 1, Lauren Farhat. Lane number 2, Molly Moore. Lane number 3, Valerie Cohen. Lane number 4, Bailey Hooper. Lane number 5, Amy Bream. That rounds out the 5 competitors in our women's lower extremity. The women upper extremity, starting in lane 6, Skylar DeVault. Lane 7, Elaine Del Rocco. Lane 8, Christina Mazzulo. Lane number 9, Annie Lurie Contanchu. Lane number 10, Genevieve Tidwell. So that rounds up our 10 women competitors on the guys' side, starting with the men's lower extremity. In lane 11, we have Felipe Montrana Infine. In lane 12, Serafin Perrier. Lane 13, Rogan Dean. Lane 14, Charles Pinar. And lane 15, Hilden Cavallo. And rounding out our final 5 men competitors in the men's upper extremity division, we have Brecky Bornson. In 17, Xavier Osa. Lane 18, Casey Acree. And lane 19, Alexis Fiorucci. And in lane 20, Samuel Pira. So that's all 20 athletes throwing down. As you guys can see, athletes advancing their way across the competition floor. We had some box jumps and box step overs. They moved into the GHD setups. Now athletes moving forward into single leg squats. followed by toe to bar. It's like Bailey Hooper making some ground here in lane number 4. She chisels her way now back down the competition floor after completing her toe to bar. All right, we got a 15-minute cap for 3.5 minutes in, athletes. Bailey Hooper chiseling away the single leg squats. You can see her lane 4, and she is going to be our first athlete now advancing back to the sit-up portion. Looks like on the male side, Casey Akery. Leading his respective division, as well as Rogan Dean and Pereira going back to back. But here comes Monterina Infinite, as he's gonna be now our first athlete onto the sit-ups on the male side. So tough battle across the board. Lauren Farhat working on her sit-ups now. But all eyes still here in lane number 4, Bailey Hooper advancing now to the box jumps. And here she comes, ladies and gentlemen. Bailey Hooper is gonna cross the finish line. What an amazing way to start the second day of competition for Bailey. She was able to finish under the 6-minute mark. And now the race on the male side. Seraphin, Charles, and Rogan. But it's gonna be Charles taking the event win, and Dean is gonna take second. So you're 1 and 2 across the finish line. About Felipe, able to cross that finish line as well. Casey Akery making his way across the finish line for his respective division, so he will take an event win there. Akery, multiple-time CrossFit Games competitor, with yet another victory to add to his belt. How about a couple more ladies getting across the finish line? Valerie Coheen. Farhat also crossing the finish line. Amy Bream able to cross as well. Seraphin Pereira able to cross the finish line on the male side. We're approaching the 8-minute mark here. Athletes, 8 minutes. As competitors continuing to work their way. Christina Mazzullo now working on her second set of box jumps. Mazzullo coming into today, currently in first place. But she looks to hold on here. Ferrucci down there in lane 19, also working on his box jumps. He's currently in second place as we start the second day of competition. So it could be a little bit of shake-up here on the leaderboard as a handful of competitors already across that finish line as we approach the 9-minute mark.
All I do is be stunting. Why these dudes be fronting? Hit them all and buy what I'm wanting. You touch me, we jumping. We pop ball and we dumping.
All right, now those two athletes making their way across the floor with the burpee broad jumps. Ferrucci and Mazzullo looking to wrap up test number 5, gymnastics chipper. Just a couple more reps remaining. Ferrucci able to cross the finish line. And here comes Christina Mazzullo, and she will cross the finish line with one more jump. We just hit the 10-minute mark, 5 minutes remaining, athletes, 5 minutes. About Valerie Cohen. Excuse me, that was Anne Lurie. Great job, Anne Lurie. She was able to cross the finish line right around that 10:30 mark. About another competitor on the male side, Xavier Osa. Trying to wrap up his test number 5. Just a couple more reps for him. Out there in the vanilla shorts, blue shoes, and socks. Couple more reps for Osa as he makes a big leap. And he will bring it across the finish line. Athletes who have 4 minutes remaining. 4 minutes. Samuel Pera down there in lane 20 working on his final set of box jumps. DeRocco able to finish up her box jumps, and she will move on to the broad jumps. Athletes continuing to work hard out here in the Coliseum, the 2023 NOBULL CrossFit Games. Just a couple minutes remaining here on the cap. We're gonna bring some of these athletes home. Elaine DeRocco, about 2 more reps remaining for her. 1 final rep. And Elaine will cross the finish line right before the 12-minute mark. Berg CrossFit's own Samuel Pera. So looks like about 1 more rep for him as he will bring it across the finish line right at that 12:15 mark. Bjornsson there in lane 16 working on his final set of box jumps. CrossFit Mjolnir chiseling away. Once again, this is the 2nd day of competition for these athletes. This is the 5th test these athletes are taking on. saw some max lifts yesterday. We saw a long chipper yesterday as well. 2 minutes remaining in the cap. 2 minutes. Bjordason now on to his final reps here. He starts moving on those burpee broad jumps. Brecky. Making do here in the final handful of reps as we are approaching the 14-minute mark. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Brecky Bjordason. One final rep remaining for him here as he's going to finish out test number 5 just under the cap. Athletes got about 45 minutes, 45 seconds as we are approaching the 15-minute mark. Athletes, you have 30 seconds, 30 seconds. Skylar DeVault working on her second set of box jumps, trying to get as many reps in here. As we are now closing in 10 seconds. We're gonna count you down. 3, 2, 1. And that is time. Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause, please, for our adaptive athletes in the men's and women's upper and lower extremity divisions. As we get ready to bring out another wave of our adaptive athletes here in just a moment at the 2023 NOBULL CrossFit Games. O2 Hydration, the official sports drink of the 2023 NOBULL CrossFit Games. Formulated for those who know dehydration is no joke. Find O2 online at drinko2.com and at the CrossFit gyms nationwide. And hydrate like you mean it.
I got the remedy, bringing a new source of energy. Look in the mirror, the glimpse of me is the only thing that can limit me. Going against and defying the odds. Hands to be down, we changing the cards. Nowhere to go, cause we came too far. The timing is now to start taking charge. Walking like giants, we about to break up the silence. No longer they can deny it. We came to start up a riot. We came to start up a riot. We came to start up a riot. It's time that we can defy it. Only the strongest surviving. Energy high, changing the shift in the climate. Rolling up on them, we're not giving it up. Coming alive, we came to turn up and riot. Came from the bottom, now we go all the way up. We came to start up a riot. Energy high, changing the shift in the climate. We came to start up a riot. Rolling up on them, we're not giving it up. It's time that we can defy it. Coming alive, we came to turn up and riot. We came to start up a riot. Came from the bottom, now we go all the way up. Going against the norm. We got no time to conform. We got the world in our palm. Feeling like we are reborn. No longer shackled by fear. We getting back all the positive years.
All right, we're bringing out our men and women in the multi-extremity adaptive division. Got a handful of athletes in lane 6. Courtney Lopez, lane 7. Amia Reyna, lane 8. Noelle Henderson, lane 9. Jordan and Galsby. In lane 10, Reagan Moser. The fella side in lane 11, James Brown. Lane 12, Chris Ryan. In lane 13, Miguel Pedrini. And in lane 14, Antonio Silvestro.
We came to start up a riot. It's time that we can defy it. Only the strongest surviving. Energy high, changing the shift in the climate. Rolling up on them, we're not giving it up. Coming alive, we came to turn up and riot. Came from the bottom. the bottom, now we go all the way up. Spending money like I just got paid. $100 bills, tell them keep the change. Come on. Pop a bottle, about to make it rain.
1 minute.
Give you something now to celebrate. Come on. And if you're wondering why I move the way I do, I just feel so good, good, good. Oh, I just feel so good, good, good. Oh, I just feel so good, good, good. Oh, I just feel so good.
30 seconds.
Oh, I just feel so good. I see the world through my thrift store shades, rose-colored lenses and a fake gold frame.
10 seconds. Athletes, stand by. All right, here we go. Men and women in the multi-extremity divisions getting started here with burpee broad jumps. This is a multi-part chipper. Athletes going to make their way down the competition floor. After the burpee broad jumps, they're going to move towards the boxes where they're going to perform step-ups or jumps depending on their division standards. Then they're going to advance to the sit-up portion, single leg squats, and toe to bar. And then they're going to make their way back towards the finish line, completing the same movements on the way back. Check out the Jumbotron up there. You can see Noelle Henderson starting the day in first place. And Mia Reyna starting the day in second. About 25 points behind Henderson. And Jordan currently sitting in third. All right, just about 90 seconds in. Same as yesterday. Once you see a judge's hand in the air, that means less than 5 reps remaining for that athlete. Looks like Moser. Slight lead on the female side. Looks like Chris Rhyme out of CrossFit Watchtower, your leader on the male side. Right, so here we go. Final 5 reps here. As the ladies' race is heating up. Looks like Henderson now with a slight lead. Chris Rhyme still holding it down on the fellas side. Athletes working on those single leg lunges. Final handful of reps here for Chris. And he is going to advance to that rogue rig to get started on his toe to bar. Chris looking calm, cool, and collected here as we just hit the 3-minute mark. 15-minute cap this morning on the workout. As As you guys can see by the pace of these athletes, though, we'll see if we need it. As all of our athletes are continuing to advance down the floor. Like Henderson 1, Lopez 2, Reina 3 on the female side. Here comes Moser as well. And on the fellas side, it's still Chris Rhyme holding down the top spot. Silvestro trying to finish up his reps on the toe to bar. James Brown trying to chase down Chris Rhyme. We got Rhyme, Brown, Silvestro, your 1, 2, and 3 on the boys' side. Once again, this is test number 5, our gymnastics chipper. And Rhyme coming into today in first place with 250 points. Pedrini currently in second. James Brown in third. And Silvestro in fourth. But Brown trying to make up some ground here on the sit-ups. Brown and Rhyme going rep for rep right now here on the center stage. Henderson continuing to hold on to her lead here on the ladies' side, wearing the 301 jersey. She's going to be our first lady to advance to the sit-ups for a second time. Looks like Lopez. And then Galsby battling out for that second place spot. And it's going to be Lopez, our next female to move on to the sit-up portion, but Chris Rhyme continuing to hold on to his lead. We'll see if James Brown can catch him here on the box step. Less than 5 reps remaining for Chris Rhyme. And Chris is done with the box step ups and now on to the burpee broad jumps. 2 big reps for Chris. Just at the 6-minute mark, Chris Rhyme, just a few reps remaining. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring him home. CrossFit Watchtower Zone Chris Rhyme with 1 more rep remaining, and he will cross the finish line and take test number 5. And now we will keep our eyes on the ladies' side, lane 8. Henderson now working on her burpee broad jumps to finish out the event. James Brown also looking at finishing up as well here in the next couple moments. We approach the 7-minute mark, athletes. And look at Henderson go, just a few more reps. Noelle Henderson at a CrossFit crash will cross the finish line and take test number 5. All right, and now Courtney Lopez will cross the finish line here in lane number 6. All right, we got a couple more athletes looking to finish up on the burpee broad jumps. Antonio, Amia, Going rep for rep here. Just past the 8-minute mark. Antonio, one final rep. And Silvestro will cross the finish line. And the final rep for Amia, she will cross the finish line as well. So we bring 2 more athletes home. Now in Galsby, looking to be our next athlete to finish. One final jump for her, and she will cross the finish line. So just 2 athletes remaining. They continue to finish out test number 5 here. Reagan Moser. Less than 5 reps remaining. Pedrini, less than 5 reps remaining as well. It's gonna be Moser out of CrossFit Greater Heights. Our first athlete now on to the burpee broad jumps. Here we go, athletes, final couple reps. That's what I like to hear, Madison. Let's make sure to bring these guys home. Final few reps here. Pedrini and Moser trying to finish strong. All right, here we go, folks. Final 2 reps here. Pedrini out of CrossFit Mayhem. One final jump and he'll cross the finish line. And Moser as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for our multi-extremity groups. Both the males and females finishing well underneath that 15-minute cap. Great job, athletes. Don't go anywhere. We're going to swap out the floor and bring out another wave of competitors. We're going to get into our age groups next here at the 2023 NOBULL CrossFit Games. Join the United States Border Patrol, where you can CrossFit every day on duty and be paid for it. USBP values strong and healthy people on the team. Go to the United States Border Patrol booth in Vendor Village and start your new career path today. Ask about the $20,000 hiring incentive. Get ready to unleash your inner competitor in Wild Health's CrossFit Finals Scavenger Hunt, where the key to winning is your DNA. Hint, hint. Prizes include offerings from the country's leading precision medicine provider, Wild Health, as well as Yeti, Tupu, Momentous, Jacko Go, and more. Head over to the Wild Health's booth in Vendor Village for more details.
Chaser. Chaser.
1 minute. Thirty seconds. Ten seconds. Athletes, stand by. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Welcome to the Coliseum. So we have brought out our men and women in the 65+ age groups. Getting it started here with test number 5, the gymnastics chipper. It's going to be a variation depending on the age groups, but with the 65 plus. Workout starts here with the box jumps. We have 30 box jumps. We're going to move on to the GHD sit-ups. They're going to complete 20 single leg squats, 30 toe to bar, 20 more single leg squats, 30 sit-ups, 30 box jumps, and then they will cross the finish line. So here we go. We got a full wave of both male and female competitors. If you guys check out the Jumbotron up there, you will see our current standings coming into day number 2 after 3 tests. Julie Holt holding down the top spot on the ladies, followed by Jensen, Sasha, your 1, 2, and 3. On the male side, David Hippensteel currently sitting in first place coming into today. Daniel Miller not far behind. And Freddie Cherry, your 1, 2, and 3. So here we go, a handful of our competitors already through that first set of box jumps and on to the GHD sit-ups. As always, once you see a judge's hand in the air, that means less than 5 reps remaining for that athlete on that particular movement. We do have a 15-minute cap. We're just past the 2-minute mark. Athletes making way. Once again, 30 reps here on the sit-ups. Looks like Holt with 1 rep remaining, and she will advance forward. Yager as well as Sasha. Your 1, 2, and 3 onto the single leg squats. Gogolski also advancing to the single leg squats as well. How about Miller on the guy's side? Miller, Marathi, your 1, 2. It's like George making his way. Mulveer, Peters, all joining them on the single leg squats. Jensen advancing for the ladies. Dawkins as well. Athletes continuing to advance forward here on these single leg squats. Julie Holt continuing to hold down that top spot. Sasha hot on her heels right next to her. These athletes going rep for rep on the ladies' side. Looks like on the male side. Daniel Miller now starting to gain some ground here on the single leg squats as he continues to advance. Each athlete performing 10 reps on each section as they continue to advance forward. Looks like less than 3 reps remaining for Julie Holt. Sasha with 1 rep remaining, and she will now take the lead and make her way towards the rogue rig as she begins her toe to bar. Sasha going right to work, chalks up. Looks like she's gonna start here with a big set right out of the gate. Pauline currently sitting in 3rd place coming into today. So trying to make her way up the leaderboard. As now Julie Holt makes her way towards the toe to bar. Holt in the black top, gray bottoms. Working here in lane number 5. And now on the guy side, it looks like Miller Our first male now on to the total bar as he will get started.
Look, I'm so fresh and so fly. I'm killing. Look, I'm so fresh and so fly. I'm killing them. Hey, hop out the two-door. I'm chilling like hey. Swerve with the top down. I'm spilling my hey. Move out of my way. Young legend, I'm an icon. Yeah. Young legend, I'm an icon. Yeah. Let's go. Y'all be sleeping on me, better wake up. I'm about to show you what I'm made of. Running.
Hip and steel. And Cherry now joining Miller on the total bar. So you got your 1, 2, and 3 there on the guy's side. Looks like Holt, Sasa, your 1 and 2 on the total bar as they continue to work through the reps. After the total bar, the athletes will then advance back down the competition floor, going back into those single leg squats. Hip and Steel trying to hold on to his overall lead, currently in first with 240 points. But Miller trying to take this opportunity to gain some ground here. He's only down 10 points coming into this event. So Miller with a slight lead right now on the rep scheme. We'll see if he can hold on. Sasa, less than 3 reps remain on her total bar as she tries to build on her lead right now. Just past the 7-minute mark. Once again, a 15-minute cap here this morning.
It ain't hard to tell. Young legend, I'm a
Light up the building, raise up the torch. They want the power, I got the source. Signal the smoke and bring in the boys. Pull the alarm and bring in the noise.
Miller and Hip and Steel with judges' hands in the air. Cherry as well. So your 1, 2, and 3 getting close. But it looks like Hip and Steel now going to be our first athlete to advance back to the single leg squats. Sasa still holding down that top spot in the 651 jersey here in lane number 4. So it's starting to look like this second leg of single leg squats here on the way back is going to start to break up the leaderboard a little bit. As you can see, these athletes doing their best to work through those 30 reps as we're approaching the 8.5-minute mark. Dava Jensen able to finish out her total bar. She will advance. Sasa holding on to that top spot here. She knocks out a handful of reps on those single leg squats, and she'll take a quick moment. Trying to hold off Holt as Holt continues to work through her set as well. Pauline, 3 reps remaining on that section before advancing the final 10 reps here. Miller, Hip and Steel both advancing. Tom Mulbeer also getting in the mix, but it's going to be Hip and Steel and Sasa, our 2 leaders now advancing to their second set of the GHD setups. Just past the 10-minute mark, just under 5 minutes remaining, athletes.
With the sickest team of believers, and then if I fist for freedom, business
How about Pauline? The big set out of the gate here on the sit-ups. Hip and steel. Mulberry. All working on that big set here. CrossFit restrained Tom Mulberry. Looking like he's trying to gain some ground here on these sit-ups. He's trying to chase down hip and steel. Tom currently sitting in 7th place, so an event win here could shake up the leaderboard here for our Masters men in the 65+ division. Here comes Cherry as well. Freddie Cherry coming into today in 3rd place.
The shift already begun, they've never seen this. Plus I'm on a team with the sun like we in Phoenix. This new life, so now I put him first like a prefix. I'm born again, he let me do it twice like a remix. Peep this, if I'm not winning, I still got Jesus in me. Every time I'm still go deliver like
CrossFit Central Wellington Zone.
so I can see the envy, devil lurking. I want all the smoke, so I don't need a chip.
Pauline currently the only athlete, not only through the single leg squats, the sit-ups, and now on the box jumps. As we have just hit the 12-minute mark, that means 3 minutes remaining, athletes, 3 minutes. Mulberry now making his move here in lane 12 as he has a slight lead over David Hippensteel.
Welcome to the league, now that's my family, that's more than DNA, no NDA, you know I
As mentioned, a win for Tom would help move him up the leaderboard, currently sitting in 7th. We'll see if he can hold off Hippensteel and the rest of the field is Cherry and Miller now both working on their sit-ups. Julie Holt able to get through her single leg squats and onto the sit-ups as well. All right, athletes, final 2 minutes here. Final 2 minutes. 2 reps remaining for Sasa. They're in lane 4, final rep. So he's gonna take a moment. 13.5 minutes in, 90 seconds remaining. Here comes Julie Holt now, done with her sit-ups. She will advance to the box jumps. Mulberry done with the box jumps. We'll see if any of our athletes can get through this final portion of the handstand walk. They've got 1 minute, athletes, 1 minute. And here we go, athletes trying to kick up and advance. Got 30 seconds. Mulberry able to get the first portion done. The clock is ticking. Ten seconds. We're gonna count them down. 3, 2, 1. And that is time. Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause, please, for our men and women in the 65+ age groups coming out and taking on test number 5, the gymnastics chipper. Pauline Sasha taking it on the ladies' side. And sure enough, it was Tom Mulberry taking it on the fellas' side. So we'll see how the leaderboard shakes up as we get ready to bring out another group of our age groups, men and women, here in just a moment at the 2023 NOBULL CrossFit Games. All right, we're bringing out our men and women in the 60 to 64 age groups. Lane 1, Georgina Joran. Lane 2, Giannina Titus. Lane 3, Debbie Downing. Lane 4, Patricia McGill. Lane 5, Susan Clark. Lane number 6, Betsy Vanderbaugh. Lane number 7, Judith Tynan. Lane number 8, Debbie Corwin. Lane number 9, Yvonne Howard. And lane 10, Lynn Knappman. That rounds up the ladies. On the guy side, lane 11, Gerardo Chiatti. Lane 12, Michael Wall. Lane 13, Tony Tursky. Lane 14, Tom Famery. Lane 15, Shannon Aiken. Lane 16, Stuart Swanson. Lane 17, Brian Wilson. Lane 18, Eric Cohen. Lane 19, Patrick McCarty. And in lane 20, John Gary. Thirty seconds. Ten seconds. Athletes stand by. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The gymnastics chipper, test number 5. Day 2 of competition for these athletes in the men and women 60 to 64 age groups. I read off the roster, the full field out here competing. If you check up on the Jumbotron, we've got our leaders. The women's division currently sitting in first place, Susan Clark. followed by Vanderbaugh and McGill. Your 1, 2, and 3 on the ladies' side. For the gentlemen, Shannon Aiken looking to hold on to the top spot once again here at the CrossFit Games. Stuart Swanson and Famery. Your 1, 2, and 3. Brian Wilson also in that mix, tied for third with Famery. So we'll see here. We got 15 minutes on the clock for this chipper, getting it started here with 30 box jumps. So per usual, if you see that judge's hand in the air, that means less than 5 reps remaining. Looks like Clark Vanderbaugh already onto those sit-ups. Downing Titus as well on the ladies' side. And here come the fellas, a big wave. Wilson, Swanson, Wall, all making their way towards the sit-ups. Here we go, all 20 competitors now on the GHD sit-ups. A hand in the air for Clark and Vanderbaugh already. Vanderberg and Clark. They are 1 and 2 coming into today. So no surprise here on test number 5 to see them battling it out already. They now are advancing to the single leg squats. Titus gonna be taking the 3rd spot right now. Corwin not far behind her. Coheen and Wilson advancing to the single leg squats. McCarty as well. All right, it looks like Clark, our first athlete onto that rogue rig for the total bar. Susan Clark out of CrossFit West Vancouver. Making do here on the rig with a big set right out of the gate of total bar. Clark holding a 20-point lead over Vanderberg. Clark already with less than 5 reps remaining on the total bar. Vanderberg out of CrossFit Lynchburg now onto her set of total bar. But all eyes on lane number 5, Susan Clark. Starting to pick up the pace a little bit, now moving into her 2nd set of single leg squats.
From a distance, I can see your hand shaking. Are you with it? The whole world is burning up. Are you existing? You know your life could change, baby, in an instant. So watch your back.
McGill now making her way onto the rig. Corwin also working on her set of toe to bar. Looks like Wall, Tursky on the male side working on their toe to bar. Swanson with a big set.
I'll be here for a while, couple minutes. It takes a second to realize what you're missing.
About Susan Clark. Already now advancing to her final set of GHD sit-ups.
I got the keys in my hand, no hesitation.
As mentioned, Clark out of CrossFit West Vancouver. Lots of games experience coming out and putting on a stamp. Here, day 2. Once again, this is test number 5, the gymnastics chipper. And Susan continuing to work. Right now, our only athlete able to get all the way to that second set of sit-ups, and she's about to be done here as well. Less than 5 reps remaining for her. So Susan Clark. Now on to the box jumps.
While you running in place, I'm on the fast train. Every night a new city, I'm popping champagne. Oh.
HD sit-ups, holding down second place.
Drink it up till you forget any of it ever
Well, all eyes are still on lane 5 as Susan Clark
Drink it up, but don't you
continuing to work before advancing to the final movement, a handstand walk here. It's like Tursky, Swanson, Coheen, all done with their total bar. Wall as well, as they are now on their second set of the single leg squats, just past the 8-minute mark.
took a chance, took a hit of the American dream. Got a taste of that life and it made me feel little blood, a little sweat, good guys, bad days. Drink it up, but don't you
Susan Clark done with the box jumps. And now onto the final movement, which is the handstand walk. Clark takes a quick rest and jumps up. And how about this? Susan Clark, 10 unbroken feet to get it started. About 5 more feet for Clark. She looks to be our first athlete in the Masters division to be able to get this done underneath the cap. Plenty of time. We've got a 15-minute cap. We're just past the 9-minute mark. Clark chiseling away at the handstand walk, 5 feet at a time. 15 feet remaining for Clark. Ten feet remaining for Clark. And here we go, final section, Madison. How about we bring Susan Clark home? Final segment here. So close, just past the 10-minute mark. Athletes, 5 minutes remaining. And Clark kicking up one final time, and she will do it. And complete the event right around that 10:20 mark. How about Betsy kicking up? Getting the first 3 sections done unbroken. Make that 4 unbroken sections. How about 5? Will she go the whole way? Betsy Vanderberg goes unbroken on the handstand walk. What a way to finish. And she will finish just past the 11-minute mark. I see you, Betsy. I see you. Unbelievable finish. And here we go. Looks like Tursky right now working on his final set of box jumps. Right now holding on the lead on the male side. But the ladies continuing to chip away. Looks like we've got about 5 competitors on the box jumps on the ladies' side. Just over 3 minutes remaining. Corwin. Less than 2 reps remaining for her. 3 minutes, athletes, 3 minutes. How about Lynn Knappman? Able to get through the box jumps. Corwin and Tynan all getting ready to take on the handstand walk. That's 6 feet at a time, 48 feet total. McGill also joining them now on the handstand walk. So a heavy skill set here at the end of this long chipper. McGill, Tynan able to finish out the first 6 feet. McGill, 2 sections completed.
Can you feel that? Check it. Woo, woo. Can you feel that? Hey, can you feel that?
90 seconds.
I'm about to put up the bid. I told you I wanted it slid.
Tynan and McGill chiseling their way down the floor 6 feet at a time. How about Tursky kicking up on his hands and going to work? A big set for Tursky. Can he go unbroken? How about this, ladies and gentlemen? Another Masters athlete looking to go unbroken. And how about Tony Tursky taking test number 5 with an unbroken handstand walk to finish it out. McCarty trying to finish out as well. 30 seconds, athletes, 30 seconds. A big win for Tony Tursky as he came in today in 5th place.
I want it, I got it. I want it, I want it, I want it. Come get it. I want it, I want it.
10 seconds.
I got it. I want it, I want it, I want it. Come
We're gonna count them down. 3, 2, 1. And that is time. Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for our men and women, the 60 to 64 age groups. Coming on and taking on test number 5, the gymnastics chipper. O2 Hydration, the official sports drink of the 2023 NOBULL CrossFit Games. Formulated for those who know dehydration is no joke. Find O2 online at drinko2.com. and at the CrossFit Games gyms nationwide. And hydrate like you mean it. Don't go anywhere. We're bringing out another wave of our Masters competitors here in just a moment at the 2023 NOBULL CrossFit Games.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise for the men and women from our 55 to 59-year-old Masters Division. In lane 1, Lee Coates. Lane 2, Linda Elston. Lane 3, Chasey Macubia. Lane 4, Shayna Bunce. Lane 5, Lekka Feynman. Lane 6, Jennifer Kawiguchi. Lane 7, Lori McChesnick. Lane 8, Christy Lunny. We've got Mary Cruz Prieto in lane 9 and Kim Stambaugh in lane 10 for the ladies. For the gentlemen, in lane 11, Lemerson Caparelli. Lane 12, Diane Walmsley. Lane 13, John Kim. Lane 14, Robert Davis. Lane 15, Kevin Kester. Lane 16, Ryan Joe Hamby. Lane 17, Jody Hendricks. Lane 18, Anders Amron. Lane 19, Joseph Lopez. And in lane 20, David Ustizaga. 1 minute, athletes. Thirty seconds. Ten seconds. Stand by. And they're off, the men and women from our Masters Division in the 55 to 59-year-old age groups. Taken to the gymnastics chipper. And what better way to start to test their gymnastics than making them walk on their hands? 48 feet of handstand walking complete for our heat leaders. More than a handful of men onto the box jumps. 5 ladies leading the pack on the ladies' side. And it is a chipper. The 48 feet of handstand walking complete for the majority of the crew already. Then they move on to 30 box jumps, 30 GHD sit-ups, 30 single leg squats, 30 toes to bar, and then making their way back for 30 single leg squats, 30 GHD sit-ups, 30 box jumps, and finishing it off before the finish line with 48 more feet of handstand walking. Going to rep 30 here on the box jumps. Judge's hand in the air for Jennifer Kawaguchi in lane 6. And lane 1, Lee Coates. Kawaguchi leading the pack for the ladies. And she's the first athlete on the entire floor off the box jumps and onto the GHD sit-ups. We are not leaving out Linda Elston in lane 2. Elston Games veteran there in the blue tank, gray bottoms. Kevin Kester leading the pack for the gents. Lane 15, middle of the floor. Black tank, tan shorts. How about that? Lanes 15 and 16, Kevin Kester and Ryan Joe Hamby going rep for rep. In unison. Into our 15-minute time cap, and our leading athletes have already completed our first 3 movements. Handstand walking complete, 30 box jumps complete, 30 GHD sit-ups complete, and now on to 30 single leg squats. Kawaguchi looking strong in the middle of the pack for the ladies. She's still neck and neck with Lee Coates in lane 1. Kester looking calm, cool, and collected on the gentleman's side. John Kim up neck and neck with Kester. And how about Miss Jennifer Kawaguchi? There in the middle of the Rogue Rig, green shorts, blue tank, and those bright blue knee sleeves, wasting no time. Banging out a big first set of those 30 toes to bar.
Problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be
Christy Lunny now pulling into second place in the test. Lunny there in the blue tank, blue shorts.
Problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage, I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone in progression, it's all that I wanted. A phone in affection, I summon.
Tracy in lane 3, Lee in lane 1. The rest of the pack for the ladies wrapping up those final single leg squats and onto the toast bar. Kester on the men's side, holding on to the lead. We're not leaving out John Kim in lane 13. Robert Davis in the blue shorts, no shirt, next to him, lane 14. Those gentlemen right there, lane 13, 14, 15. Your 1, 2, and 3 for the men's side. Tell me I'm garbage, I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone in progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon. But for the ladies, Jennifer Kawaguchi coming into today, sitting in second place after day 1 of competition. Jennifer looking to show us what she's made of with her gymnastics. Here in the gymnastics chipper. As we approach the halfway point, we are looking for these athletes to go for time. Which one of these athletes can finish this required amount of work? The fastest will take the test win. But we have given them a 15-minute time cap to do so. Kester and Kim for the men, Kawaguchi for the ladies. And how about that, Madison? Jennifer Kawaguchi there in the middle of the floor for the ladies. She mounts that GHD. And there she goes, chipping away at her final 30 reps on the GHD. Now the race for second for the ladies. Coates in lane 1, Lunny in lane 8. Makawiba in lane 3. And here comes Miss Lekka Feynman. Lekka in lane 5 coming in today, sitting in first after day 1 of competition. And how about that, making a move on those GHD sit-ups, a little bit of a shake-up on the ladies' side. Second to last movement, first being cracked, lane 8, Christy Lunny. Lunny making a move on Kawaguchi. And it's really gonna be a race to the finish. Lunny, lane 8, Kawaguchi, lane 6. Coates, lane 1. And it's John Kim off the GHD first for the gentlemen.
Hold on, I'll show you where to go. Yeah, take me to a place. Got me on
John Kim also making a move on those final 30 GHD sit-ups. He was neck and neck with Kevin Kester. After they finished those final single leg squats, let's see what kind of pace these gentlemen can hold on to. Final 30 reps on the box jumps.
I'm good, I'm gone, I'm waving adios. I'm trying to get lost somewhere that's magical. It's up, it's on, I had to let you know. Hold up, hold on, I'll show you where to go. Yeah, take me to a place. Got me on the way. Ooh la la la, I guess I caught a vibe. Ooh la la la.
Judges' hands in the air for our leaders. Lunny off the box jumps first. Lunny on her hands. First section of the handstand walk complete, but Kawaguchi looking strong upside down. That is right, Madison. That deserves some noise. Miss Jennifer Kawaguchi with her final interval of the handstand walk. She makes it across the line and onto her finish mat. A test win for Miss Jennifer Kawaguchi. Coming from behind and making up some major way, lane 1, Lee Coates with her final feet on her hands. And ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Lee Coates. And these athletes showing that the final movement, this final handstand walk, can make or break the standings of the test as we approach the 2-minute mark. The fight for first for the men. John Kim just ahead of Kevin Kester, but Kester holding on, hanging on his hands. He stays inverted and gets across the finish line. Kester and Kim, you're 1 and 2 for the gents. Feynman in, Lunny in, and Elston in for the ladies as we cross the 90-second mark. Tracy McAweeba looking to be the next lady. She gets those hands across the finish line. Next finisher, Miss Tracy in with just under 1 minute remaining on the clock.
No problem. Flat ass bitch. Looking at me like who he? I need a check. Finding my way to
Shanna Bunce looking to be the next lady with 40 seconds on the clock.
This is what it is, no problem.
Machesnik and Prieto looking for those final feet of handstand walking, but Bunce next across the line with just under 30 seconds on the clock. Coliseum, I need you to put your hands together. Keep these athletes working in their final 10 seconds. I will count you down here in 3, 2, 1, time. That is right. Keep that round of applause going for the incredible work thrown down here by the men and women of the 55 to 59-year-old division. Ladies and gentlemen, join the United States Border Patrol where you can CrossFit every day on duty and be paid for it. USBP values strong and healthy people on the team. Go to the United States Border Patrol booth in Vendor Village and start your new career path today. Ask about the $20,000 hiring incentive. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and join me in welcoming the men and women from our 50 to 54-year-old Masters Division. On the ladies' side in lane 1, Cindy Hinkle, lane 2, Lori Pruitt, lane 3, Tara Gemmer, lane 4, Nathalie Connors, lane 5, Cheryl Brost, lane 6, Nicole Abbott, lane 7, Tia Gebby, lane 8, Kim Purdy, lane 9, Jane Rokovic, lane 10, Julie Rapport. Lane 11 for the men, Matt Sia. Lane 12, Clint Paddock. Lane 13, Eric Smith. Lane 14, Jason Levis. Lane 15, Sean Patrick. Lane 16, Arthur Komborowski. Lane 17, Corey Daig. Lane 18, Randy Lowe. Or lane 19, Nathan Lauren. And in lane 20, Bob Ruano. One minute, athletes. Seconds. Ten seconds. Stand by. They're off. These athletes turn to take to the gymnastics chipper. These are the men and women of our 50 to 54-year-old division. It's a chipper. We're going down and back for time. Starting it off with 48 feet of handstand walking, moving on to 30 box jumps, then 30 GHD sit-ups, 30 single leg squats, 30 toes to bar at the rig, and then make their way back down the lane, 30 single leg squats, 30 GHD sit-ups, 30 box jumps, and finishing it off with a 48-foot handstand walk all the way across the finish line.
Become so dangerous. Touch me, man, I'm so contagious.
We're having these athletes go for time. Have them complete this work as fast as they can, but they are fighting against a 15-minute time cap.
Look at how it's played divine, heavenly. Can't shame me, dog, it's my pedigree. What you telling me, dog?
After one day of competition, on the ladies' side, your leader, Cheryl Brose, in lane 5.
We won't stop, we can't lose.
On the gentlemen's side, lane 15, Sean Patrick, coming into day 2, sitting in first for the men of the 50 to 54-year-old division.
There ain't much we can't do. Don't you see that greatness arrived? When we die with the greats in the sky. In a time when you chasing the prize. Look alive, look alive. Never lose a hope, not unusual. When you know who you know.
Natalie Connors in lane 4. And Tara Gemmer in lane 3. The first ladies off the box and onto the GHD. Cheryl in the mix in the top of the heat as well. We're not leaving out Cindy in lane 1 or Lori in lane 2. And here come the gentlemen. Jason Levy's in lane 14. First to crack on the GHD. My eyes being drawn to lane 17. Corey Daigle, blue t-shirt. Nice speed as he begins those 30 GHD sit-ups. We're not leaving out Arthur Komorowski in lane 16. That black tank, blue shorts. But it's the ladies leading the pack down here. Brost in lane 5 off the GHD first. Connors just behind her. Just behind them, a whole handful of ladies. As we're just over the 3-minute mark, these ladies flying through our first 3 movements. And on to number 4, the single leg squats.
I'm feeding off of the crowd, my feet stomp the ground, the sound is so loud, pump it up. I can hear the chants and cheers coming in from the top, and the champ is here. Lace them up, let you wanna be last. Must be Ramadan.
All of these movements here going to rep number 30. Judge's hand in the air, lane 5 for Brost. Final, a no rep. She's got one more here. She holds on to it, and there it is, 30 reps. For your heat leader, Cheryl, wasting no time. Big jump up. She establishes her grip, and there she goes, chipping away to rep number 30 on the toes to bar. Natalie Connors in second. First 2 athletes on the entire field. To the rig for the toes to bar. Who will it be off the single leg squats first for the gents? Jason Levy's lane 14. There he is. Jason, first male athlete on the toes to bar. The toes to bar, our turnaround point for the chipper. They made their way down to the rig. 30 reps of the toes to bar, and there they come, making their way back to the single leg squats. Brost, lane 5, holding on to the lead.
Locked in all week, grind time, let's feast. I fold it up like a crease. I got him shook, that's not where you want to be. You need to move out of my way. I'm coming through like a bulldozer. Ayy, who came to play? Got a whole squad full of soldiers. Ayy, ooh, you're making my day. I love when they run from me. They don't want one-on-one with me. I'm bringing the smoke to your house, get it sizzling. Whoa, on, by, here.
Komorowski in the race for the top of the heat. He's going to have to keep a pace up if he wants to keep up with Jason Levy's. Levy's holding on to the lead for the gentleman. Those bright shoes, blue shorts, dark tank. For the ladies, we've got Brost. We've got Pruitt, but Brost has made quick work of those final 30 single leg squats, and here she is back to the GHD, leading the pack for both the men and the women of this 50 to 54-year-old division. As we hit the 7-minute mark, we are not even over the finish line, and on his finish map, first place in the test, unofficial Jason Levy's. And a strong second, just behind him, Mr. Corey Dagg. Five ladies over the line, two gentlemen as we approach the final 2.5 minutes of the heat. Looks like that's Julie Rappaport in lane 10 and Kim Purdy in lane 8. Purdy able to stay upside down, get both hands across that finish line. Purdy across first, Rappaport next. And that's the 2-minute mark, just less than 2 minutes remain. Rorvik next in for the ladies. And Komorowski next across the finish line for the gentlemen. Less than 90 seconds remain. Make some noise next for Eric Smith. With 1 minute on the clock, Nathan Lauren looking to be the next gentleman across the finish line. And there they are, both hands across. Nathan Lauren's in. What do you say, Coliseum? Can we get behind these athletes? Can we make some noise? It's their final 30 seconds. These men and women from the 50 to 54-year-old division working hard. Final 20 seconds on the clock. Matt Sia sprinting on those hands. 10 seconds to go. Athletes, I'm counting you down. 3, 2, 1, time. Ladies and gentlemen, do not go anywhere. We're continuing the gymnastics chipper with our age group athletes. As a proud partner of the 2023 NOBULL CrossFit Games, Proven Fitness is excited to but 30 complete. 4. Bryn Cup in lane 8. Bryn in all gray. Bryn in first. Miley lane 6 in second. And rounding out the top 3 for the girls, Maria Granizo in lane 5. Bryn Cup making quick work of those 30 reps of the toes to bar. Only one set to complete, and there she has done it. She's chipped her way through those 30 reps. Bryn in all gray, showing us her gymnastics prowess. She's made her way down to the rig, and here she comes, making her way back down her lane. Marches down her lane and wastes no time on her next set of single leg squats. For the girls, it goes 1, Cup, lane 8, 2, Wade, lane 6, and 3, Granizo, lane 5. Who will it be for the boys off the rig first? Looks like Pau Martin-Thier in lane 18. One of the first off the rig, as well as Jeremy Jordan in lane 13. The race on the girls' side, out in front and already on to the GHD, not even 6 minutes into the heat. Ladies and gentlemen, these teen athletes putting on a show here in the Coliseum. Martin-Thier leading the pack for the boys. There in lane 18, he's in the blue shorts, dark t-shirt. Only athlete on the boys' side to crack his last set of 30 GHD sit-ups. And holding on to the lead for the girls, Miss Bryn Cup in lane 8. Bryn rebounding off the bottom of those box jumps. As soon as she gets that hip extension, she's wasting no time going down into her next rep, rebounding off the floor and back up to the top of the box. And we are crossing the 7-minute mark, not even halfway through the heat. Your leader on the girls' side on her final 3 reps of the box jump. Cup with a no rep, but that doesn't set her back. She gets it done, 30 reps complete, and Cup wastes no time here, kicking up onto her hands. And I said it before, ladies and gentlemen, these teen athletes having to go red line to red line. And Cup looking strong on those hands. And there she goes unbroken. And the test win goes to Miss Bryn Cup. Incredible performance by these teen athletes. And Miss Bryn finishing just over the halfway point. 8 minutes in now into the heat. And a little bit of a shakeup in the top 3. Maria Granizo coming from behind, looking to take second place in the test. Granizo here in the dark shorts, gray tank. Granizo gets both hands across the line, makes some noise. Second place, Miss Maria Granizo. place, Miss Miley Wade. 3 girls across the finish line. And now we're looking for our first male athlete. Down there in lane 18, Pau Martin-Thier. If he's able to stay upside down all the way across that red line, he will take the test win for the boys. And there he is, first place for the boys, Mr. Pau Martin-Thier. Next in for the girls, Mira Varga. And how about this, a race on the hands for second place for the boys. Please make some noise for Jeremy Jordan taking second. And third for the boys, Mr. Lincoln LaFavor. And Marley Francis next in for the girls. Just over 10 minutes into the heat, less than 5 minutes remain. Dane Indraji next across for the boys. And a no-mech rep for Miss Trenna down here in lane 2. A no rep for these teenagers mean we're sending them back down to the baseline. We got to go red line to red line, unbroken, both hands across. Miss Taya making it in.
I said let go.
And here she comes, Trenna next across the finish line. And next in, Ava LaBounty makes it across. Pablo Troncan in for the boys. And some noise for Marissa Nichols as she makes it across the baseline. Leonardo Cruz in for the boys around the 11.5-minute mark. And Miss Alina across the finish line. Finishing just under 12 minutes. And Kulani able to stay on his hands. Subiono will be the next to finish for the boys. Final male athletes on the competition floor, working hard to finish under this 15-minute time cap. Just under 2.5 minutes remain. And the next finisher getting across, Jose Pablo. Madison, just under 2 minutes remain. And we've got Mr. Cesar Tejista out there on his box working hard. That's right, Madison, we're behind him. Let's let him know.
They fall like dominoes, soft as Kai.
Cesar's got 90 seconds on the clock. 90 seconds remain. And that's 30 on the box jumps, 30 complete. And now Cesar having to go red line to red line, unbroken. He's more than halfway across. That's right, Madison, keep it going. Let's keep it moving. Final feet, both hands across, and Cesar onto his finish mat. Do not go anywhere. We're following it up with our next age group division. Get ready to unleash your inner competitor in Wild Health's CrossFit Finals Scavenger Hunt, where the key to winning is in your DNA. Hint, hint. Prizes include offerings from the country's leading precision medicine provider, Wild Health, as well as Yeti, Tupood, Momentous, Jocko Go, and more. Head over to Wild Health's booth in Vendor Village for more details.
Let's get your toes actually on the ground. Socks off. 10 toes down to the ground right now.
Right now?
Right now. Think I finally figured out who I am, what my style, what'll keep my soul to the ground. Thinking up, up, up. Keep that ego in clown. Rather clown all out by myself right now. Big, big man, like my ship is all sound. Like no water on board, like I'm not about to drown. I'ma keep it all 100, man. I'm really freaking out. People listen in now. I'm not just talking to myself. Make me scared. I'm gonna let them all down right now.
Right now?
Right now. Pray I never lose myself. Praying flashing city lights. I keep my pretty boy smile. Pray this all work out. I caught my mama house. So when I look inside her eyes, all that really was worthwhile. Pray my team break ground. So this album popping out. Swear drop 'em. Be
Please send your resume, I'm on the fence now. Triple threat. Triple threat. You are looking at a triple threat. Triple threat. You are looking at a triple threat. We ain't simmer yet. Game dripping like it's vinaigrette. We can go from the videos on the internet. If you say you really like that, then we gotta check. Triple threat. Triple threat. You are looking at a triple threat. Triple threat. Triple threat. You are looking at a triple threat. We can go from the videos on the internet. If you say you really like that, then we gotta check. Now for sale, you really gotta sport these. I'm in DC, I got the 4-piece. Keep the team close like knock knees. In the Cherokee, going top speed. Not a watch guy, but you watch me. Stop that, even Amazon couldn't box me. Keep it on chill when the real speak. You be in the Instagram likes, you a real creep. Want for crumbs, they harass us, but for real, show support till they pass us, then it's hate. Get to the money, better ask us where it's at. Going legit or you masked up real late. You can stop the consensus. We ain't gotta mention the bag getting senseless. I'ma get it now while you wait for your pension. When I shoot the ball from a distance, it's instant. Head, shoulders, knees, toes. Made it out the neighborhood, made it to the pros. Head, shoulders, knees, toes. What's a triple threat? Something they don't know. Head, shoulders, knees, toes. We ain't simmer yet, we just heating up the stove. Head, shoulders, knees, toes. Made it from the ground floor, still kicking doors.
Hey, get up on your feet and groove like that. Cha-cha, real smooth like that. Make everybody shook when you do it like that. Footloose in my brand new shoes. All my moves need camera crews. I glide, I float, now watch me cruise. Top down, baby, I'ma raise the roof. Big shot, I wake 'em up like a coffee drip too clean.
So welcome to our 16 to 17 boys and girls on to the floor in lane 1. Riley Beebe, Bergros Bjornsdotter in 2, Hayley Rolfe in 3, Reese Littlewood in 4, Lucy McGonigal in 5, Trista Smith in 6, Jenna Michelotti in 7, Elia Del Olmo in 8, Hayes Willard in 9, and Veronica Voriskova in 10. For the boys, Isa Weber in 11, Gustavo Push in 12, RJ Mestra in 13, Kyle McElroy in 14, Ty Jenkins in 15, Brandon Gaskill in 16, Hugo Jansen in 17, Caden Myers in 18, Ko Subioni in 19, and Caden Hogan in lane 20.
Get up on your feet and groove like that. Cha-cha, real smooth like that. Make everybody shook when you do it like that. Let me see you move like that. Like what? Like that. Let me see you move like that. Like what? Just like that. Let me see you move like that. Like Only time I get down is when I move with the feet. Let me show you what I mean. Everybody up out of your seat. 1, 2, 3, step to the beat. Only time I get down is when I move with the feet. Yeah, let me show you what I mean. Everybody up out of your seat.
1 minute, athletes.
Let me see you move like that. Like what? Like that. Let me see you move like that. Like what? Just like that. Let me see you move like that. Like what? Like that.
30 seconds. Ten seconds. Stand by. Day 2 of competition, and we welcome our 16 to 17 age group boys and girls for test number 5, the gymnastics chipper. And this one for time starts with a 48-foot unbroken handstand walk, 30 box jumps, 30 GHD sit-ups, 30 single leg squats, 30 toes to bar, coming back up the field. Crossing the line on that handstand walk, the time will stop when they reach their start mats. We have a 15-minute time cap for this gymnastics chipper. The 5th test here for this age group. 8 tests, another 100 points up for grabs. On day 2 of competition. Our judges, of course, checking out those movement standards, making sure all of the athletes show the extension on top of that box jump for the rep to count. The hand is up, though. We are going to see the first athlete, and it will be Lucy McGonigal out of lane number 5. Through the box jumps, makes a start on those 30 GHD sit-ups down here for the girls' side.
Got it, got it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we call it the gymnastics chipper. We're pre-fatiguing those hip flexors and that midline ahead of those 30 toes to bar coming up in the middle section of this gymnastics chipper. Testing all elements of the CrossFit domain for these top athletes in this teen division here at the 2023 NOBULL CrossFit Games. Hand is up for Lucy McGonigal, and she's holding on to that early lead right now, moving through. The next stage of the chipper, of course, those 30 single leg squats. The remaining athletes in the pack just trying to get through the final few reps on the GHD sit-ups. Of course, as these athletes come through the single leg squat, judges looking for the control. Top of the movement, testing balance, single leg strength, coordination, and of course mobility, an important factor in this single leg squat movement. You're seeing these athletes alternate 5 reps on each leg, moving forward every 10 reps into the next portion of the workout. There's been a little change here on the girls' side. Trista Smith, Reese Littlewood, they'll be your first 2 girls to make a start on the 30 toes to bar. Right out here in the Coliseum on that rogue rig, Lucy McGonigal joining the party, and Bergros Bjornsdotter from CrossFit Reykjavik out of lane 2 with just one of the boys onto the toaster bar. These girls are absolutely destroying this gymnastics chipper. Event test number 5. But it's Trista Smith that closes out those toaster bars. She's moving back up the field of play now. Makes a start on her first set of those 5 and 5 single leg squats. Reese Littlewood, she's going to be your number 2. Lucy McGonigal coming through in number 3. Your 1, 2, and 3 right now for these girls. And there on the boys' side, Caden Hogan from TTT CrossFit out there in lane 20, all on his own, moving back through the single leg squats. The hand is up for Trista Smith though. Trista Smith, the Canadian, coming out of CrossFit Fort Vancouver, pulling away from the rest of the pack now, makes a start on her second round of the GHD sit-ups. Solid technique for Trista. You can see driving those hips through to close the gap between the hands and the pads. Reese Littlewood, CrossFit Phoenixville, coming out in second. Lucy McGonigal, your 1, 2, and 3. Hayes Willard, CrossFit Blono, out of lane number 9. Also making an appearance on the GHD sit-up, but eyes on to lane number 6, ladies and gentlemen. Your current leader in this event, Trista Smith. She managed to get through the toaster bar first, and it's her that makes a start on those box jumps, and our judges keeping a close eye on the movement standards for this movement. Lucy McGonigal pulls back into second place, just ahead of Reese Littlewood. The race is on for the Test 5 event win. Lane number 9, Hayes Willard, coming out of CrossFit Blono. And right out there on the end in lane 20, let's not forget Caden Hogan, all on his own out there, putting it down for the boys in the 16 to 17. But ladies and gentlemen, Trista Smith is on the move. We are not even halfway through the time cap. Judge pulling her back there, hands touching that red line on the start. She's coming back though, unbroken for this 16 to 17 division. No impact on Trista Smith for that call. It's looking like a very comfortable event win. Off she goes, Trista Smith, 7:49 unofficial, and what a finish. And the race on the hands is going. Lucy McGonigal, Reese Littlewood. It's all about who can get to the start mat. Reese Littlewood, Lucy McGonigal, and Hayes Willard. What a finish there, an exciting finish to this girls' heat. Please, ladies and gentlemen, let's make it loud for Caden Hogan. Over there, right out on his own, lane number 20, coming out of TTT CrossFit. Over the line, and he steps up to take the event win for test number 5, Caden Hogan. 1 and 2. Coming through, Riley Beebe just makes it over the line, and it's Riley that gets onto that mat. Yes, and that was all about the handstand walk speed. Jenna Michelotti will be next for the girls' side. It looks like we're gonna have our second finisher for the boys. Coming out of lane number 13, Rai Mestra, RJ, oh, and Kyle McElroy just ahead of Ty Jenkins. Throws himself onto that start mat to take third unofficial for the boys. We've got Gustavo Push on the move out of lane number 12. Comfortably moving over that line. Great finish for Gustavo Push, G7 CrossFit. Still plenty of time on the cap for these athletes. 15 on the cap. Lane number 3, Haley Rolfe. Just working through her final few box jumps before she heads in to that 48-foot unbroken handstand walk. This is the gymnastics chipper. Well, these athletes know what it's all about on the gymnastics. No problem at all. Walking on their hands. Haley Rolfe. Athlete number 169. CrossFit Steel Courage. Are you in the house? Let's make it up. Haley Rolfe, ladies and gentlemen, takes that time of 11:20 unofficial. We've got Elia Del Olmo out here on the floor, lane number 8, chipping away. Right now on her final few box jumps. A couple of these athletes choosing to wear their lifting shoes for this gymnastics event. That single leg squat portion, throwing in a little curveball for these athletes. Quite often one of the more challenging movements that we see here in the CrossFit spectrum, the single leg squat. Madison, you have gone very quiet on me. Let's make it up for lane number 8. She is working hard out here. Elia Del Olmo, 5 reps for her to go on this round of 30 box jumps. She's gonna be making her way back to the start mat. 2 minutes remaining on the cap. And it's a handstand walk to close out test number 5. No problem on this part of the skill set for Elia Del Olmo. Unbroken 48 feet, and up she goes to the cheers of the Coliseum, and that is time. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next, our men and women of the 45 to 49 age group. Coming out on to the Coliseum floor next. Don't forget, later on this evening, test number 6. Fans, please line the fan 5K course through the campground this evening in support of all the athletes competing on this 5K run. The event will begin in North Park over there, 6:45 p.m. later on this evening.
I'm on top of my game, I can't lose. Tell the world I got something to prove. All losses done turned into fuel. Be afraid of what I'm about to do. This ain't man to man, I'm talking to crews. Tell the rebels they should follow our moves. Y'all ain't number one, y'all got it confused. Man, y'all better off calling it a truce, that's the truth. I'm on a mission. Like there's no competition. We the only team that's winning. I'm on a mission. I'm so winning mission. Like there's no competition. PSA to the opposition. Top of the top 10. Losing ain't an option. Tell them we got it. All the way locked in. All the way locked in. Top of the top 10. Losing ain't an option. Tell them we got it. All the way locked in. All the way locked in. Hey. All the way locked in. Hey. All the way locked in. And losing's not an option. Locked in the zone, I ball. Putting all the work till the day I fall. Got no time for breaks, I don't take time off. My work pays off and the chip is to your wall. Living with the people that I grind and hustle with. Winning with the team I survive and struggle with. Every on the top of every stat, every list. Time is ours, I advise you guys calling quits. I mean quick. Position. Top of the top 10. Losing ain't an option.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the men and women of the 45 to 49 division. In lane 1, Lucian Macias, Gabriela Azevedo in 2, Carrie Riga in 3, Carolina Gutierrez in 4, in lane 5, Kelly Friel, Amy Chapperton in 6, Laura Nielsen in 7, Merituli Callio in lane 8, Jackie Kale in 9, and Danica Rolfe in lane 10. In lane 11, Spencer Whiteley, Pirha Garcia in 12, David Levy in 13, Vlad Liškovic in 14, Jason Grubb in 15. In lane 16, Christopher Anderson, Mike Kern in 17, Ryan Retke in 18, Andrea Di Salvador in 19, and Justin Lasala in lane 20. 1 minute, athletes. Thirty seconds. Ten seconds. Stand by. Welcome to day 2 of competition, and here we have test number 5 and another 100 points up for grabs for these 45 to 49 age group athletes. This is the gymnastics chipper. Begins with a 48-foot unbroken handstand walk, followed by 30 box jumps, 30 GHD sit-ups, 30 single leg squats, and coming into the 30 toes to bar before the athletes progress back up the field. Towards their finish mat, we have a 15-minute time cap. So we saw in our previous divisions working through this gymnastics chipper that really the single leg squat portion of the workout, separating the field a little bit up there. One of the high skill gymnastics elements of this chipper. Athletes will perform 5 on each leg, progressing every 10 reps up the field towards the rogue rig, where they'll then head into those 30 toes to bar. Midline tested and pre-fatigued with, of course, those 30 GHD sit-ups. So you got the hands going up for the first athletes on the women's side. Amy Chapperton out of lane 6 is going to be the first woman to progress to the GHD sit-ups. Carolina Gutierrez out of lane number 4. Hand is up for her. But your 1, 2, and 3 right now. Amy Chapperton, Kelly Friel, Laura Nielsen out of lane number 7. These 3 athletes showing their dominance on this competition so far. Out on North Park earlier today with test number 4, pulling power. 8 tests in total for our age group and adapted division here at the 2023 NOBULL CrossFit Games, and the excitement continues right here now in the Coliseum. Amy Chapperton, Laura Nielsen, Kelly Friel, hands going up. Laura Nielsen, Chapperton. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the big test. The 30 single leg squats. Testing not only single leg strength and balance, of course. Big mobility test here. Our judges keeping a close eye on those movement standards. You're going to see the athletes make progress up the field every 10 reps. You may remember back to our semi-finals events, testing the single leg squat with that ruck for those individual athletes. So great to see the single leg squats coming back in here at CrossFit Games 2023. So Kelly Friel, Amy Chapperton, both of these athletes making progress. Just ahead there of Laura Nielsen. 30 toes to bar coming up next. We're going to see how these athletes break these toes to bar down. Let's have a little look over on the men's side. Jason Grubb, of course, dominating the competition on test number 4 out there on North Park. One of our experienced CrossFit Games athletes. He'll be looking for another finish here on this gymnastics test. But you have your first 2 women, Kelly Friel, Amy Chapperton, just looks center of that rogue rig, making a start on the 30 chipper reps. And we are only 4.5 minutes into this 15 time cap for this event. Not yet even at the halfway mark, but just about coming through halfway of the workout. We got your first athlete on the men's side. 2 athletes now. Christopher Anderson at a 16. One of the first athletes. Vlad Lisevich also onto the toes to bar. These 2 athletes sitting out alone. Andrea De Salvatore, he's joining in on the toes to bar action over there for the men. 1, 2, and 3 right now. Hand is up for Kelly Friel, 2 reps on her remaining. Final toes to bar. Kelly Friel moves forward. Chapperton, she's around 4 reps ahead on the single leg squats of the second round. See if Friel can make that ground up now as she comes through this single leg squat. Anderson also getting on to single leg squats of the second round. Vlad Lisevich, 14, moving forward. But it looks like Anderson holding on to that early lead for the men in this 45 to 49 division. I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't watch Pulling Power, let me tell you that these athletes this morning have already blown up their quads on that final sled push in that 4th test. So we are really testing the leg strength now of these athletes. These single leg squats, 60 reps over this gymnastic chipper. Amy Chapperton is the first athlete to start the GHD sit-ups. Kelly Friel, 4 reps behind now. Amy Chapperton coming out of CrossFit Lifetree. Kelly Friel, the affiliate owner of CrossFit Southampton, back there in the UK. Runs a box, also trains hard. 2 incredible daughters, also great athletes. Let's not forget these athletes are not full-time athletes. Busy, busy lives going on as well. Anderson for the men's side on to the GHD sit-ups. Joining Amy, Kelly, Laura Nielsen, Jackie Kale out there at a 9.
Would you compromise or would you stand through the storm and roll with the tide? Would you be the one to fight or the one to hide?
But it's Chapperton that makes progress onto the box jump with a 4 rep lead, just holding on. See if Kelly Friel can make up any time here on these box jumps. Like I said, fatigue in the legs now. 60 single leg squats deep. Coming in for another 30 box jumps. The race is on the men's side. Lane 16. You are seeing Christopher Anderson right out there in front on his own. In comes Laura Nielsen, lane 7. Just passing 9 minutes on the clock, 6 minutes just under remaining for these 45 to 49 athletes. And there we have the second athlete on the men's side out of 14, Vlad Lišković, making it to the box jumps. But these two men athletes sitting out there on their own, and Christopher Anderson, he is switching through this gymnastics test. Andrea De Salvatore coming out of 19, but ladies and gentlemen, eyes on the floor for the women's side. Amy Chapaton makes a start on the final element of this test number 5, the gymnastics chipper. She's down. The door is open. Kelly Friel kicks up. It's got to be an unbroken set on the 48 feet. And Kelly Friel is on the move. An experienced games athlete. Can Kelly Friel hold it together to make it over the line? Kelly Friel, ladies and gentlemen, the smile says it all. Kelly Friel taking test number 5 here in the Coliseum, just under 10:45. Amy Chapaton just dropping down on that second attempt on the handstand walk. Christopher Anderson, though, on the men's side, he has dominated. And he is making his way onto his mat. Make it up for Christopher Anderson. Nielsen, Chapaton, neck and neck. Chapaton striding ahead. Nielsen is still there. Kale in the mix. It's going to be close. Nielsen's over the line. Second in the event for Laura Nielsen, just ahead of Amy Chapaton, and out comes Jackie Kale. 4 athletes through. Danica Rolfe is going to be the next woman. Danica Rolfe, 12:04 unofficial. And coming out next for the men, Vlad Lišković, everybody. What a performance for Vlad Lišković out there in lane 14. Super happy with his performance. And there we go. Another athlete over the line. It looks like Jason Grubb. Another great finish for Jason Grubb. Luciana Macias, Gabriela Azevedo coming through now. Gabriela Azevedo, lane number 2, 2 minutes remaining. What about it? Great finish here in lane number 4. Carrie Rieger coming through next. "90 seconds on the clock." Gary Rieger just needs to hold on. That balance there. just ahead of that 1 minute mark. 1 minute remaining. There we go. Another finisher. Spencer Whiteley over the line there, ladies and gentlemen. CrossFit Blockhouse, all the way from the UK. Happy with that, just under the 14:20 mark for Spencer Whiteley. "30 seconds. These athletes racing it on their hands. 10 seconds. Can they make it? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. It was exciting. Thank you so much to the 45 to 49 division. Test number 5 complete for them here on day 2, and coming out next. And finally, our 40 to 44, followed by our 35 to 39 division. Join the United States Border Patrol, where you can CrossFit every day on duty and be paid for it. United States Border Patrol values strong and healthy people on the team. Please go to the US Border Patrol booth in the vendor village. Ask about starting your new career path today and the $20,000 hiring incentive. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the floor the men and women of the 40 to 44 age group division. In lane 1, Dina Posey. In 2, Kelly Abney. Rebecca Voigt-Miller in 3. Jen Ryan in lane 4. Andrea Pinheiro in lane 5. In lane 6, Samantha Briggs. Rachel Green in 7. Megan Apostolaris in 8. Hope Sierra in 9, and Rachel Sessa in lane 10. In 11, Ryan Woodall, Christian Jensen in 12, Kane Hayes in 13. In lane 14, Chicho Caseda. In 15, Rudolf Berger, Bruno Militao in 16. In 17, František Heraban. In lane 18, Casper Myrup, Mikael Laviher in 19, and Roy Vega in lane 20. 1 minute athletes. Thirty seconds. Seconds. Stand by. Welcome back to the 40 to 44 age group division, and this is test number 5, the gymnastics chipper, and it begins with a 48 feet handstand walk unbroken to the box where the athletes will perform 30 box jumps, followed by 30 GHD sit-ups, 30 single leg squats and 30 toes to bar before progressing back down the Coliseum floor to their finish mats. The time cap is 15 minutes. So you're seeing these ladies and men of the 40 to 44 division coming out on the floor for test number 5, the second test here on day 2 of competition at the 2023 NOBULL CrossFit Games. And we are testing gymnastics. You'll notice some of the athletes choosing to wear their lifting shoes for this event. That single leg squat seeming to be the separator in the field on all the previous heats in this 5th test. Little bit of single leg strength, mobility and balance, of course, shaking out the field for when they come back up to take this test win. Hand is up for the judges though, and your first athletes are already on to that GHD sit-up proportion. Megan Apostolaris out of lane 8, Hope Cicero moving well up there in lanes 8 and 9. Kelly Abney out of lane number 2 through the box jumps, makes a start on her GHD sit-ups. Well, this movement in this gymnastics chipper just set to pre-fatigue the midline, the hip flexors of these athletes ahead of those 30 toes to bar. But the hand is up for the first of the women. Lane number 9. Hope Cicero from CrossFit Billings. She'll be the first woman to start the single leg squats.
I take the whole city down with this. Wanna be down, wanna dash, wanna go fast.
Rachel Sessa, lane number 10. Pass through that first portion of the workout. And the women seeming to favor this gymnastics test ahead of the men throughout the divisions on the floor here. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're seeing these athletes move through 5 single leg squats on each leg before progressing forward every 10 repetitions. 3 boxes, taking them right there to the rogue rig for 30 toes to bar, the middle portion of this gymnastics chipper with a 15 cap. Just passing 3.5 minutes now, and the first of the athletes closing out the final round of 10 reps on the single leg squats.
Wanna dash, wanna go fast, wanna be brave, wanna move like an assassin. Just to be frank, it's not for the faint of heart. And the only question left is, where do we start? I take the whole city down with this.
Lane number 9, Cicero. Lane 10, Cesar. 4 and 5, Jen Ryan, Andrea Pinheiro. First 4 women to get it through the single leg squats. It really does shake up this field, this single leg squat movement. Big demands on the quads and hamstrings. Don't forget these athletes performing out on North Park earlier today. Test number 4, pulling power. Big demands on those sled pushes. Hand is up for lane number 4, Jen Ryan. Coming through those toes to bar, solid work. But up there in lane number 10, look out for Rachel Cesar out of CrossFit Austin. Seeming to enjoy this gymnastics test. Andrea Pinheiro, lane 5, coming off the toes to bar. And we got the first of the men coming off the toes to bar. At a lane number 15, Rudolf Berger. Looks like he is one of the first athletes to make it onto the second round of those single leg squats. Michael Rapier, lane 19, also moving forward. Jen Ryan onto the last 10 out of 30 single leg squats of the second round. Jen Ryan, Hope Cicero, and Rachel Cesar as 3 athletes heading back to the GHD sit-ups of the second round. I see Rudolf Berger there on that GHD machine, all on his own right now. Rudolf Berger coming out of Chalk Dust CrossFit. Supporters in the Coliseum. Hand is up for Jen Ryan, out on 4. Not even halfway through the 15 cap. So Jen Ryan, lane number 4, your current leader in this heat. Chasing her down, Hope Cicero out of 9. You're 1 and 2 right now, and there comes number 3, Rachel Cesar. The women's field just ahead of the men on this gymnastics chipper, test number 5. 3 long days of competition for these age group and adapted athletes here at the 2023 NOBULL CrossFit Games. We'll be crowning the fittest on earth tomorrow afternoon after day 3. Kelly Abney just working through her second round of squats there on the way back up the park. Dina Posse, CrossFit Resurrection, on to the GHD sit-ups. There's your 1, 2, and 3 on the men's side, ladies and gentlemen. Rudolf Berger, Bruno Miltao, and František Heriban making progress. But on the move now, on the final push for the women's side. Hope Cicero out of lane number 9, just ahead of Jen Ryan. No problem at all. It is going to be an event win for lane number 9, and Hope Cicero takes the win in just after the 9-minute mark. And I don't know what, it looked a little bit like 2 and 3 there. Rachel Sessa and Jen Ryan getting on the line. That'll be down to the chip time. 1, 2, and 3 for the women. And your first men athlete, Rudolf Berger, is on the move. Lane number 15. All on his own right now. And he's going to take it off. Event win for Rudolf Berger. We're looking at now. We saw in previous heats. It is all down to that final handstand walk. It has to be unbroken. Rebecca Voigt-Miller, CrossFit Training Yards athlete, lane number 3. Cool, calm, and collected on her handstand walk. Rebecca Voigt-Miller comes over the line in 10:28 unofficial. It looks like Chicho Quesada was through, and then comes Andrea Pinheiro out of 5. Oh my goodness, Roy Vega is so close to that line then. We are willing him across the line. Ladies and gentlemen, Samantha Briggs is on the move. Samantha Briggs, give it up for lane number 6 as she takes 11:13 unofficial. Sam Briggs over the line. Up next, it's all Megan Apostolaris, lane number 8. Just ahead of Rachel Green there. Rachel Green, Dina Posey. It's all happening. Christian Jensen. He's over the line. Final 4 reps for Kelly Abney there, Eternity CrossFit, lane number 2. Kane Hayes is on his hands. But so is Casper Myrup. Oh my goodness, it's going to be a chip time finish for those athletes. Kane Hayes and Casper Myrup, ladies and gentlemen. Over the line, Chicho Quesada just dropping down there. Kelly Abney. Kelly, first time ever to qualify for the CrossFit Games in her age group. This is a big stage for Kelly Abney.
One thing I won't do is let you tell me that I can't be great. Can't be great.
Just under 2 minutes remaining, athletes. And there over the line is Ryan Woodall out of lane number 11. 90 seconds remaining. Chicho Quesada, give it up as he goes over the line. 60 seconds remaining. I was holding my breath there, but I didn't need to. Kelly Abney comes over the line under the cap in 14:23 unofficial. I think we all had our breath held there. Congratulations to Kelly. 20 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Roy Viga over there in lane number 20. And that is time. Big respect. All right, don't go anywhere. We have our 35 to 39 division coming out onto the Coliseum floor next for the gymnastics chipper. Do not go anywhere.
All right, folks, I've got a pair of large Bear Complex grips that I don't want or need. So I want to know who wants a free pair of Bear Complex grips. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to start on this side, and we're going to move around this way. And the largest, loudest group is going to win. So here we go, starting in that far corner. 3, 2, 1. Okay, okay. All right, we're gonna go right over here. All right, thank you guys. We're gonna bring out our final group of masters here in just a moment.
Shining bright, smiling like I got summertime, won't stop now. The vibe is right, couldn't stop it if I wanted to.
All right, go ahead and welcome our athletes in the 35 to 39 age groups. Lane 1, Belinda Becker. Lane 2, Danny Horan. Lane 3, Amy Morton. Lane 4, Stacy Tovar. Lane 5, Chelsea Nicholas. Lane 6, Colette Casey. Lane 7, Lori Clement. Lane 8, Savlena Voslova. Lane number 9, Carmen Perez Ruiz. Lane 11 on the male side, Stephen Fawcett. Lane 12, Scott Panchek. Lane 13, Adam DeJong. Lane 14, Ionis Papadopoulos. Lane 15, Sam Dancer. Lane 16, Giannis Petrikis. Lane 17, Brian Wong. Lane 18, Josh Marunde. Lane 19, Lars Christensen. And in lane 20, Julian Lopez.
Spotlight division, I blew the whistle, I got credentials, these my initials. I got a feeling we gon' end up on the ceiling. I don't bite, I make killings. It's a moment when I pull up on the scene, let's go. Hey, let's go. All eyes on me when I pull up, let's go. Let's go. I'm the one with the bag in hand, let's go.
1 minute.
Let's go. All eyes on me when I pull up. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's go. Run it up. Run it up. All day, all day, all day, all day, all day. Run it up. All day, all night. I'll be in the cut. Run it up. Run it up. All day, all night. Never get enough.
30
It's
seconds.
a moment when I pull up on the scene. Let's go. Hey, let's go. All eyes on me when I pull up. Let's go. Let's go. I'm the one with the bag in hand. Let's go. Hey, let's go. All eyes on me when I pull up. Let's go. Let's go. I'm the one with the bag in hand. Let's go.
10 seconds. Athletes, stand by. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Test number 5, the gymnastics chipper. It is 4 times, starting off with a 48-foot handstand walk, followed up with 30 box jumps, 30 GHD sit-ups, 30 single leg squats, 30 total bar. Then back down the way with 30 more single leg squats, 30 GHD sit-ups, 30 box jumps, and 1 final 48-foot handstand walk. And here we go. Our masters in the 35 to 39 age groups getting it started here. All our athletes, no problem there on that first handstand walk, right into the box jumps. You look up at the Jumbotron, the women's leader, Chelsea Nicholas, currently in first place. Stacy Tovar sitting in second. And Colette Casey, you're 1, 2, and 3. And it actually looks like Tovar and Casey tied right now for that second place spot. Clement with our first judge's hand in the air. Also looks like here in lane 3, already on to the GHD sit-ups, Amy Morton out of Ocean State CrossFit making way on her GHD sit-ups. Looks like a couple judges' hands in the air on the fella side as well. It's like Fawcett's gonna be our first athlete onto the GHD sit-ups. Fawcett, Panchek, Papadopoulos, you're 1, 2, and 3. As the whole ladies field is already on to the GHD. So now the whole field of both men and women advance to the GHD. Once again, 30 reps here. As the athletes make their way across the competition floor, we're just past the 2-minute mark. And here we go, judges' hands are in the air on the ladies' side, as well as the men's side. Fawcett, Panchek with judges' hands in the air. We've got a handful of ladies already onto the single leg squats. These athletes are cruising through this chipper. Casey, Clement, Nicholas, Tovar, all advancing. Veslova and Clement, you're 1 and 2. And it looks like Morton right now in third on the ladies' side. Fawcett and Panchek, still your 1 and 2 on the fella side. Less than 5 reps remaining for Veslova. But it looks like Lori Clement out of CrossFit scene. Right now, number 1. So 1 and 2 already on the total bar for the ladies. Veslova and Clement going rep for rep. Veslova currently sitting in 6th place, trying to make her way up the leaderboard. Clement in 4th. So here comes your leader, Chelsea Nicholas, onto the total bar. Fawcett and Panchek continue to lead the males. Panchek currently in 7th place, Fawcett in 8th. So those fellas also trying to make some moves here. Dancer, Petrikis, and Papadopoulos round out your top 3 going into this test. Test number 5, the gymnastics chipper. We're about 4.5 minutes in. Veslova through the total bar and back onto the one-legged squats. Amy Morton joining her, 1, 2, and Clement your 3rd. Once again, athletes making their way back through the chipper. Right after the total bar, back into the single leg squats, 30 reps here. Veslova trying to hold off Clement right now, going rep for rep, but Clement starting to pick up the reps a little bit here. Maybe getting a little bit of rhythm. Things are just heating up on the boys' side as well. Panchek now taking the lead. Panchek followed by Fawcett. Petrikis also in the mix as well. How about Dancer, Papadopoulos also moving forward. But right now we got a head-to-head battle between the ladies, Clement and Veslova. Going rep for rep. Clement with about a half rep lead right now going into the GHD sit-ups. Lord Clement trying to hold off Veslova. But here comes Chelsea Nicholas, your 1, 2, and 3. And now it looks like just Scott Panchek leading the fellas. Panchek currently sitting in 7th place, so an event win here could help him move up the leaderboard, but he's gonna have to hold off Petrikis as he's now joining him on the GHD sit-ups. Here comes Wong and Fawcett as well. But we got judges' hands in the air on the ladies' side, Clement and Veslova. Still going rep for rep. Looks like Veslova and Clement finish in synchronization. And here we go, onto the box jumps. Box jumps and handstand walk, the only 2 things remaining here for these ladies. As now the pace starts to pick up here as we are at the 7-minute mark. All right, just past the 7-minute mark, and here we go. 3 ladies on the box jumps, 1 male, Scott Panchek, and now Petrikis, your 1 and 2 on the fella side. Veslova, Clement, Nicholas, and Morton now all in the mix for the ladies. But it's Clement right now with a slight lead. Less than 5 reps remaining on her box jump. She is done. Lori Clement is gonna take a deep breath before heading into this final 48-foot handstand walk. Clement looking to go unbroken. Halfway in for Clement. Just past the 8-minute mark. Madison, let's bring her home. Final 10 feet, 6 feet. But here comes, it's gonna be a race to the finish. We're gonna have to check the chip. Veslova, Clement, a battle all the way to the very end. Veslova able to pick up some pace on the handstand walk. And here comes Scott Panchek, our first male to kick up. Panchek and Morton looking to bring it across the finish line. How about Scott Panchek, long-time Games veteran, and he's gonna take an event win in the Coliseum. solid win for Panchek. And now the battle for second. Papadopoulos kicking right up and going to work. Just past the 9-minute mark. Papadopoulos, no problem, and he will take second. How about Brian Wong now, making his way across the competition floor. How about Belinda Becker, as she looks across the finish line as well here in lane number 1. And both athletes will do so. Pedriquez able to cross the finish line. Stephen Fawcett bringing it home. And here comes the rest of the ladies. Casey, Horan, Tovar, all making their way across the finish line. Perez Ruiz are as well. Julian Lopez making his way. Dancer able to cross the finish line. As I was calling the action of the ladies, just a couple athletes remaining here. DeJong. How about Josh Morunde? Trying to finish out the event as well. Both athletes chiseling away at that final set of box jumps. Josh Morunde through the box jumps, and now the final handstand walk. Morunde, final 12 feet. And Morunde will bring it across the finish line. All right, Adam DeJong kicks up for his final handstand walk. We're now 11:30 in. DeJong, final 12 feet. Make that 6 feet. Madison, let's bring him home as Adam DeJong will cross the finish line. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for our men and women in the Masters division. That was our 35 to 39 age groups. Competition will continue later today. As always, thank you for your attendance here in the NOBULL Coliseum. Head over to the Rogue North Park at 1:40 p.m. for the opening ceremony, where all athletes competing will parade in by country. There will also be an F-35 flyover and the singing of the United States National Anthem by the Madison Youth Choir. Age groups and adaptive competitions will resume at 5:30 p.m. this evening at the Rogue North Park.